They found the teacher dead in her apartment, but the police couldn't find any signs of forced entry or any witnesses. And all of her students and colleagues had seemingly alibis. So who really killed her? In the small town of Urbania in 1978, a young woman named Sarah was working as a first-grade teacher at the local elementary school. Despite being only 23 years old, she was well loved by both her students and her colleagues for her bubbly personality and her bright, infectious smile. And so, just a few months into the school year, someone at the school started anonymously writing down horrible things about her, criticizing her teaching style, and accusing her of having an inappropriate relationship with one of her colleagues. Unsurprisingly, this caused quite a stir amongst the staff, and soon enough everyone in town was talking about it. But despite the rumors, continued to live her life as per usual, going to work every day and seeing her boyfriend on the weekends. They also questioned all of her colleagues and students to see if anyone had seen or heard anything, but nobody had. All of them had alibis. However, on the evening of December, she didn't come home from work. Even more strangely, the pantyhose that had been used to strangle her were an unusual type that you wouldn't find in most households. So when her worried boyfriend went to check up on her, he found her lifeless body in her apartment. Was the killer really targeting because of her job? Or did they simply look similar to one of the other women he had written the notes to? Unfortunately, we may never know the answer to this. She had been strangled with a pair of pantyhose, and someone had even carved a peace sign into her chest. When the police arrived at the scene, they found that there were no signs of forced entry and nothing seemed to be missing. This left the police baffled. How could someone get into her apartment without breaking in? And if they did, why didn't anyone hear her scream? This meant that the killer must have brought them with them, and for a very specific purpose. As the investigation went on, the police uncovered the fact that the person who had written those anonymous notes had actually sent similar ones to multiple other women in town, all of whom were either teachers or waitresses. Could this have been a case of mistaken identity? To this day, the case remains unsolved and is still considered a murder mystery in the small town where everybody had a motive. But what do you think happened to her? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching.